Hey guys, so I've recently been doing videos where I show some dupes of certain product, and somebody asked me to do eyeshadow dupes. Now in the first installment of this series I did quite a few eyeshadow dupes, and this is basically just going to be like a continuation. And I think the next dupes I'm going to do is probably going to be bronzers. But yeah, let's jump. Oh, hold on. Welcome and thank you to all of the new subscribers and all of my pre-existing subscribers who have returned to the channel, everybody who has entered the giveaway. I'm so happy at the turnout of the giveaway so far. A lot of people have been very interactive in regards to the giveaway, and I just can't wait to pick two winners by it closes 6th of July. If you haven't already entered, make sure you go to that video, which I will link down below. Go to that video and make sure that you enter. Make sure that you follow me on Instagram. Make sure you leave a comment with your Instagram tag as well, and just enter the giveaway. Again, welcome one and all, and thanks to everybody who is pre-existing and everyone who just watches my videos. I love you guys so much. Anyway, let's go and do some eyeshadow dupes. So the first set of dupes that I have is the ColourPop Shayla eyeshadow palette versus the Morphe. I can't remember what this Morphe palette was called. If I find the name, I'll put it up on the screen. But this, I do find that even though the Shayla eyeshadow palette has a lot less shades, I definitely see and feel that the most prominent shades in the Morphe palette are present in the Shayla palette. Like those olivey greens, that blue, obviously all the browns. The black is in there as well. And there's like a couple of coppery shimmery shades, and I do definitely feel like this is a dupe, even though it's kind of like a downsized version, because I believe that the Morphe palette, I don't think that that one is available anymore, which is kind of sad because it is quite a nice palette. It's a big one and it's got a lot of shades in it, but I feel like this would be a beginner's dream because you have a great mixture of natural neutral tones as well as some colors in there, just in case you wanted to spice it up and you wanted to play with color a little bit. I definitely feel like this is a dupe. Next, there's like three whole palettes in one picture. So we've got the Juvia's Saharan 2 palette. Absolutely love this palette. This one is actually in the giveaway. The Natasha Denona Aries palette and the Wet n Wild Not a Basic Peach palette. The thing is, I kind of feel like the Natasha Denona and the Juvia's Place are more similar to one another, minus that middle plum shimmer shade. And then the Wet n Wild is just a little bit similar. If we were to like just cover up the Natasha Denona palette for a second, I would not be able to see that the Juvia's and the Wet n Wild are a dupe, aside from the fact that they've got probably the same matte browns, and that shimmer blue that they have, they're not exactly the same. I more so see a similarity between the Natasha Denona and the Juvia's Place one, definitely. But they're all basically going down the same kind of road, but not 100%. But you know, I'm always going to recommend the Juvia's Place palette anyway because their stuff is just bomb.com. Next is the Viseart 12 color eyeshadow palette 01 matte, which is $80. Ooh. And the Beauty Treats 12 color matte eyeshadow palette in 01 neutral. Now you see, Beauty Treats, they really took the mick there, okay? Viseart done called their one 01 matte. They went and made their one called 01 neutral. That's really coming for, that is really coming for Viseart right there. Like, we're gonna put half of the name in our name, just so you know that we're coming for you. This, I feel, is a dupe. I feel like the bright orange should have been a bit brighter. It's not quite there. But aside from that, the majority of the shades are really similar. And they've pretty much placed the shadows pretty much in the same place. I can't speak to the quality of beauty treats. I've never tried them, but if you were just looking for the exact same shades, you got it. Okay, so a dupe for the Natasha Denona Sunset palette was the ColourPop Yes Please palette. I don't know if the ColourPop Yes Please palette is still available. I heard that palette would go in and out of stock like that all the time. But it's a beautiful palette. I can't even deny it. I definitely see the resemblance between all of these shades. I mean, that bright yellow, those matte browns, that red though. Yeah, this is a dupe. If I've ever seen a dupe, this is a dupe, definitely. And we all know that ColourPop is so affordable. Next is the Urban Decay Naked palette. Who remembers when the Naked palette used to be like the cult favorite on YouTube? Like everybody had the Naked palette. Everybody had it. Now nobody even talks about Urban Decay in the same way that they used to talk about Urban Decay. Like you weren't no one if you didn't have this Urban Decay palette, okay? But now it's like so many new indie brands have come out and they've shown, I feel like a lot of indie brands are showing the OGs what they're made of, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, moving on. The Naked palette versus the e.l.f. Studio Pro Mini in Natural. Okay, the Pro Mini has a lot more shades, but it's running along the same kind of track, and I can definitely see that the blue, the black, that's in there, and all of those other neutral natural shades are in this palette. It definitely is, but they've obviously sprinkled a few more in there, so it's not so obvious, but we all know that they were coming for Urban Decay. I know that there's a lot of people who feel like companies shouldn't copy other companies' work, and I completely understand the thought process. I just think that there's a lot of people out there who don't have that kind of money to be able to spend 30-40 pounds on an eyeshadow palette, regardless of whether or not the quality is good. And there's so much stuff that's always coming out that it gets overwhelming. So when people like Revolution and stuff come out with eyeshadow palettes or highlighters or whatnot, which are dupes to high-end stuff, I'm more than receptive to it. But I do understand that a lot of these companies put a lot of time and effort into their products and deserve the recognition for it. So if you're not somebody who's into dupes, I completely understand, but I like a dupe. These two shades, one is by ABH, the other one is by Morphe. These are just eyeshadow singles. One is Metallic Plum by ABH and one is Midnight Kiss. Okay, now these shades, I feel like, I don't really think that anybody is like, oh my gosh, I need to get a dupe of Metallic Plum, because 9 times out of 10, if you open up a palette, you're probably gonna find a shade very similar to this in one of those palettes anyway, because it's a very common shade. So I don't really feel like there's a lot of people saying, oh my gosh, I need to get a dupe of Metallic Plum. But if you was, here it is. The Tarte Tartelette in Bloom palette versus the NYX Ultimate Shadow palette in Warm Neutrals. So here what this person has done is they have picked out all of the shades which they reckon are dupes for one another. So there's a couple of shades which aren't in this palette, but it's pretty much all there aside from just a couple of shadows. I think this is more or less a dupe, but I think that this kind of palette is a dupe to many other palettes that are out there anyway. Like, what brand that does eyeshadow palettes doesn't already have a palette which is very similar to this? You're gonna find that it's very few and far between, you know? So, but I definitely think that this is a dupe. Okay, the Huda Beauty Smoky Obsessions palette versus the Bad Habit Beauty After Party palette. This is definitely a dupe. Definitely a dupe. What I find so heartbreaking though is that Shop Hush, you can find Bad Habit on Shop Hush. Shop Hush don't ship to the UK anymore. Otherwise, I would have been getting a few of their things, but they don't ship here anymore. So, because I was hoping to get that Atlantis palette, but can't get it. I'm sure it will turn up on eBay at some point. Who knows? Oh yeah, we may as well just mention it. The Atlantis palette, I think it's by Bad Habit on Hush. By Hush, we'll just say it's by Hush. Versus the Icy Betch palette by Tarte. This is supposed to be like one of their tartlet palettes and they said that it was an April Fool's joke, and now everybody else is basically cashing in on their idea, and everyone told them, listen, we would buy this palette, so make it, and they just did not listen to no one. What can I say? But this is most definitely a dupe, and I've been eyeing it up, and when I found out that Hush don't even ship to the UK, I was so gutted. I was disappointed to the max, but what can I do? It is what it is. As I said, I'm sure I'll be able to get it somewhere, get my hands on it. That's somewhere. So not writing, it's just not a complete write-off, you know. Anyway, so those are some of my dupes. I do have another video where I discussed more eyeshadow dupes, and I'll link that one down below as well. Again, don't forget to enter the giveaway. That video will be linked down below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.